I'm not teaching this week. Whew, thank God. All right, I'm going to read our beliefs real quick before we get started. Today's kind of fun. We're going to do mini second chance stories. It's kind of like mini leads. They're going to be like no longer than 5 minutes. I've invited a few people to come up here and show you kind of, the tone for it. And then if we have time after, I can invite a few people out there who would like to come up and share. But at Second Chance, we believe that community is not optional. It's essential for survival and healing. Exclusion has no place in the church or the kingdom of God. Your education, income, or zip code do not determine your worth. Every person is fully loved by God without expectation. Everyone is on a journey with a higher power, and that journey is honored here. Faith is not about perfection, but it's an ongoing journey of healing, growth, and transformation. Your past may shape you, but it does not have to define you. And lastly, everybody deserves a second chance, and often more than one. And now we're going to get to hear from a couple people who definitely had 7 million second chances. You can come up, Sway. Right? That was who went first. I might have forgot the order. Oh, one more thing is that we are tie-dyeing those shirts that Scott was just talking about next week after church. I don't think we're providing transportation. Stay tuned, because I obviously have no idea what I'm talking about. But we're going to Alyssa's house. It's just a few blocks over. There's tons of easy bus routes around after. Phone a friend. Some of you guys can carpool. If we do provide transportation, I will let you know. I have to, talk to the higher ups. I am not from Columbus. I have no idea where we are. Yeah, so anyways, and we're going to get a couple other things. We have some wands and stuff we have to get together for Pride, so we'll just do a couple of things. Anyway, so here are our second chance stories. Woo!
Hello, everyone. You all know me as the handy-dandy singer. Margie always calls me Shay on accident. So I'm going to share a little bit about my background as a deviant, and I'm going to touch on that very lightly, but more so I wanted to share about my background as a worship leader before I lost my faith and lost my way. When I was 12 years old, I got into trouble, and my mom, she made me go to church with my Aunt Julie. And so I was in this church for like 5 or 6 years, and then I ended up, during that time, becoming the worship leader for the college age group at 15 years old. I learned how to play guitar, and I sang for them every Saturday. Then I eventually started leading worship at the main service as well, and I went to Peru twice with them on missions for the Lord, and in the midst of all of that, I was trained for something. I didn't realize at that time that it was going to affect me later in life, because at 23 years old, I went ahead and discovered drugs for the first time, real drugs, and if you can name it, I tried it. And so I ended up losing my 3 boys and basically wrecking my entire life. My daughter stayed with me through all of this train wreck because my mom did something for me that I'll never forget. When I had to go to jail for 7 months for robbing a dollar store at gunpoint, my mom took my daughter, and the day that I got out, she gave her right back to me. So I had my daughter through all of this time, and I was on probation. I was sober for a time. I stopped drinking, which was the main thing, but and I stopped doing drugs, which was kind of difficult because I couldn't deal with life on life's terms. So I went ahead and eventually snuck back into the life, still passed my drug test for my PO, still was able to get off papers early. And then I went back to what we're going to call sneaking and geeking, Nobody knew I was doing it until they knew. And then I was lying about it. And for a long time, I was lost. After I lost my boys, I lost my religion. I lost my faith. And I thought God had abandoned me. I thought that he had punished me for something. And so instead of leaning on him, I ran from him. And in the midst of all of the drama and the craziness and becoming a drug dealer and, basically just starting to endorse the use of crystal meth on a daily basis, he still had me. He was still there the whole time. So I went to the very depths of despair. I was in the dark night of the soul, and this was right before I got arrested last year. And I finally called out to God after about 10 years, and I asked him, I said, please help me put this down, because I can't put this down. I can't let go of it. I can't stop. But I know that once it's out of my system, I'll have a better chance at being sober. I'll have a better chance at being who I'm supposed to be. And 2 days later, don't you know, them warrants came around, and the 6 police cruisers came to get me thinking I stole a car, which I didn't steal it, they found out. And I still went to jail anyways. And I just remember being on the ride to jail, like, okay, God, thank you. You know, relieved, crying because I was relieved, not because I was upset I was going to jail. So yes, it's him doing for me what I could not do for myself. And so I, in the 69 days I was in jail, I guess you could say I was calling out on, you know, God for what to do. You know, it was a strange new territory for me where I had, you know, found God again, found Jesus again. And I was like, okay, so I know you're probably mad at me. I know you probably don't want anything to do with me, but I need your help again. What should I do? You know, and he led me to go to rehab when I got out. So I convinced the judge and my probation officer to allow me to go to rehab, and they released me to Her Story in Xenia, which there I was presented with a temporary sponsor against my will. And I say against my will because everybody was presented with a temporary sponsor when they started that program. And I ended up at Choices, and here I am today. And it's funny because I was only about 4 or 6 months clean when Scott was like, you know, we got this church up here, you know. I sang at the Hope Gathering. He was like, we got a church. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, we don't got a worship leader. And I'm like, okay, I'll come and check it out. There were 9 people the first time I was here. And I walked in, and I was very reluctant because I thought, this isn't what I'm supposed to do. There's no way you could choose me to do this, God, because I've already messed it up once. Okay, let's be real. I've already messed it up once, and I'm not in the business of looking a fool again. And I was doubting myself. And so a couple of months go by, and Alyssa's like, you don't have a choice, you're doing this. And I was like, because I told God like 4 days before that, I was like, God, if you really want me to do it, then you're going to have to make them force me, because I'm not going to do it on my own. I'm just not. And so she comes up to me out of nowhere, like, you have to do this. And so that's how I started leading worship here at Second Chance. And I've got 2 weeks until my year clean, which is the longest recorded sobriety, for real sobriety, that I've had. And I'm very thankful to this church. I'm thankful to the people here. And I'm thankful to Scott and Alyssa for looking past my own fears about myself and allowing me to come and do this for you all, because it's been a lot of the reason I've been able to stay sober, because I know that you guys depend on me being here, you know, and I look forward to it, for real. Like, I look forward to coming every weekend, to being here. And even though the storms may come, I'm still in the midst of everything. I've been cared for by God. So I'm very thankful for that. And I'm thankful for you all. Thanks, guys.
Hi, my name's Mary, and my story is going to be one of many second chances. For 26 years, addiction controlled my life. It took me places I never imagined I would go and turned me into someone I barely recognized. During those years, I collected 3 prison numbers. Each one represented another chapter of poor choices, broken promises, and a life that seemed to be spiraling further and further away from the person that I wanted to be. Addiction cost me more than my freedom. It cost me relationships, opportunities, self-respect, and peace of mind. But one of the hardest losses to carry is the loss of friends. Over the years, I've lost more than 24 friends to addiction and overdose. 24 lives, 24 stories that were cut short, 24 people who never got the chance to tell a second chance story of their own. There were many times that I thought I would become one of those statistics. There were many times that I believed I was too far gone, too broken, or too damaged to change. But recovery taught me something powerful. As long as you're breathing, your story isn't over. Right. Looking back, I can honestly say that prison saved my life. What once felt like punishment became the place where everything began to change. It forced me to stop running, to face myself, and to take an honest look at the path that I was on. Without those experiences, I don't believe that I would be standing here today. Today, I stand here as living proof that people can change. My redemption began when I finally became willing to do the things differently and accept the help that was available to me. Recovery showed me that my past did not have to determine my future. Now I have the privilege of doing the same for others. One of the greatest blessings in my life today is being able to help people who are still struggling with addiction. Every time I answer a phone call or share my story or sit with someone in their pain or help guide someone towards recovery, I'm reminded why I stay sober. Helping others doesn't just save lives, it helps save mine too. The same experience that once filled me with shame have become the very same tools I use to help others find hope. My past no longer defines me, it gives me purpose. The prisons, the mistakes, the losses, and the heartbreak have all become part of my story that now helps someone else believe that they can make it too. Recovery has given me something addiction never could, a life filled with meaning. It feeds my soul, it strengthens my spirit, and reminds me every day that my pain was not wasted. I cannot change the last 26 years, and I can't bring back the friends that I've lost, but I can honor them by living differently. I can honor them by helping the next person who is still suffering. My story is not about addiction. My story is about redemption, purpose, and the power of a second chance. And for that second chance, I'm grateful every single day.
Hello, I'm Sierra, and I am definitely an alcoholic and addict. Hi. I had to write mine too because I'm not good at this. My journey hasn't been perfect. I've relapsed more times than I'd like to admit. But one thing I've learned is that my story is not defined by how many times I fell. It's defined by how many times God has helped me get back up. There were moments when I felt hopeless, ashamed, and convinced that I would never change. But God never stopped pursuing me. Even when I was running from Him, His grace carried me through some of the darkest seasons of my life. My children have been one of my greatest motivations. They deserve a mother who is present, healthy, and fighting every day to be the best version of herself. Recovery has allowed me to rebuild relationships, make amends, and show them that no matter how hard life gets, I would never quit trying. I am incredibly grateful for the support I have received from the Hope Resource Center, Second Chance Church, my sponsor, and Hope for Tomorrow. Thank you, Scott, for not bailing me out of jail this time, and Ashley for helping me get into treatment. They didn't just see my addiction, they saw my potential. They know my potential. They believed in me when I was still learning how to believe in myself. Today, I stand before you as proof that recovery is possible, not because I'm strong enough on my own, but because God is faithful. If you are struggling today, please know that your past does not determine your future. As long as you're breathing, God still has a purpose for your life. Thank you for allowing me to share my story, and thank you for being a part of a community that believes in second chances.
Hi, I'm Eureka. Discovering who I am was difficult. I know who I am today because of Jesus. In my partying days, I was separated from my higher power, searching for love and validation from people, which led me to resentments and disappointments, and even sometimes feeling unloved. I thought I would fit in and have a bunch of friends, but really I hurt myself because I was surrounded by people, yet still felt lonely. When I was at my lowest point in my life, my friends and family weren't there for me. But God truly was. He led me into recovery and truly changed my life. See, before I was committed to being in sobriety, I was someone with low self-esteem, struggling with self-hatred, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. I was isolated because I didn't like the person I was around others. I used to treat my autistic symptoms with drugs and alcohol, but I learned new coping mechanisms through therapy and programming. Programming was hard, but with Jesus as my higher power, it became easier, and I grew in relationship with Him, myself, and others. Working the steps not only helped me heal, but helped me heal my relationships with others. I am so grateful today that I live a new life completely surrendered to God. I give Him all the glory because now I have 2 years and 7 months sober.
Hey guys, you already know, my name's Margie. My second chance story, like, Destiny said, like a million chances is definitely my second story for sure. Um, like I said, I'm gonna be 67 years old next Thursday. Um, and the day before, on the 3rd, I'll have 19 months clean and sober. Um, um, you know, I started smoking crack in like 1989. Some of y'all wasn't even born yet. I struggled with my addiction all those years. In 2010, I put myself into a program because the only clean time that I had ever had before then was when I was in prison. And I always talked about how when I got out, I was going to change because I found God and blah, blah, blah. And the minute I hit that door, got out that gate, it was on again. So today, my recovery is so different this time. When I got to Lighthouse in December of last year, I was so angry. I hated everybody, and I made it clear that I was angry, and I had so much shame and guilt for relapsing after so many years clean, becoming a peer supporter, and then I picked up drugs again, and I couldn't understand why I would do something so stupid. When I got to the Lighthouse, I was told about this great meeting right over on Wheatland. It was called the Hope Gathering. And so they took us in the van to that meeting that night. And when I walked through those doors, you guys, I've been in and out of these rooms, man, for 35 years, maybe like 40. And I never felt like, damn, I never felt like I was home. I never felt comfortable. I always felt out of place. I always felt like somebody was judging me or looking down their nose at me. You know, I wasn't dressed right. I wasn't dressed like them. I didn't have on Nike shoes. You know, I just, maybe I was different. I just always felt out of place. But when I walked into that Hope Gathering over there on Wheatland, the first face I saw was Amanda, and she was sitting at the table selling sweatshirts, which is now my job today. I never felt more welcome in any meeting I'd ever been to in my life. I've sat in the front row there, of course. I love the front row. And I get everything when I sit there. I get everything first, you know, in my heart. But after the meeting was over, at the Hope Gathering that night, I walked up to Scott, you know, and I told him that I was homeless because I've been in and out of these rooms for a long time, and I know if you don't have a home group, you're homeless. And I walked up to Scott, and he greeted me with such kindness and compassion. I told him I was homeless, and he goes, "Oh my God, it's freezing outside. Where are you staying? You know, you have a safe place to stay." And I'm like, "No, no, no, not that kind of homeless. I don't have a home group." And I told him I wanted to make Hope Dealers my home group, and I'm so grateful that I did. And then this church came along. Um, I've known God my whole life. I was raised up, taught about Jesus Christ, taught that He died on that cross for me, um, and I always knew that, but I always turned my back on Him. I was like, you know, I got better things to do. I can't get high and have a relationship with you at the same time because you're tapping my high. You're not allowing me to enjoy my buzz because you're making me, you're convicting me. You're making me feel guilty. So, yeah, I made the Hope Dealers my home group. I came to Second Chance. I was one of the first 9 people sitting up here in these chairs. And I've loved watching it grow and seeing so many new people come. I love coming early and making the coffee for you guys and singing off key up here and getting on everybody's nerves. Holler, yeah, Jesus, because it is, yeah, Jesus. I've had many, many second chances, and today the second chance that I have, that song, it says, "I have a peace that makes no sense." That's my life today. I have a peace that makes no sense at all. I have literally, I have no stress. The hardest stressor I have in my life today, guys, is how many gallons of gas I got to pay for in my car. Um, and really, that's it. And my cat driving me crazy, tearing my house up. But I really don't have any hardships, any troubles. I gave my life to Christ. I got baptized right out there in that yard for the second time. And this time I knew when I'm told that my past is washed away, I took that to heart. And I believe that because my past was so ugly. Um, I know my mother's smiling down on me today because I have God in my heart. I have Jesus Christ inside of me. I try to treat everyone I meet with kindness and compassion, and I try to share the word about Jesus Christ. Don't walk up to me at the table at the Hope Gathering if you don't want to hear about second chance and how good Jesus Christ is. I love all you guys. I'm so grateful for you. You have no idea how grateful I am for this place to come every Sunday. Yes, second chances, man, they're a wonderful thing, and I hope that everybody in here takes their second chance and runs with it. Don't turn your back on Christ again. Don't turn your back on you. Um, make sure you get a sponsor and work those steps. Because 6 months ago, I was like, F a sponsor. I was so aggravated. And now that I have my sponsor back, and I'm working my steps. I'm on step 6, and I feel amazing. Like I said, I have a peace that makes no sense. I have a niece back in my life. Y'all, I got great grandchildren. I got a brand new great granddaughter. And I was able to go visit her and hold her in my arms. And that alone is a miracle because I went 6 years without my kids talking to me or looking at me. Today, they're so proud of me and they have faith in me again. They trust me to walk through their house to go to the bathroom by myself. It's crazy. Nobody's stalking me as I'm going to the bathroom. It's amazing. I do. I have an amazing life. I have my family back. I have my self-esteem back, and I now I love myself again. Actually, I might just love myself for real for the first time in my life. I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful for the program. I'm so grateful for the program and those steps. Saving my life, and I got a good one today, y'all. And I'll pass.
It'll be short, trust me. Even if I'm not. Hi, I'm Egypt. I'm going to ask one question, and I'm going to ask Margie. What's the name of your cat?
Blessings.
And we're blessings.
We are.
So the reason I asked that is because I wrote this a while ago, and I wanted to bring it to you guys because I don't want to tell my story. I want to tell you yours.
I'm not here.
Yeah.
It's a message.
Anyway, I'm Egypt, resident lunatic and stray cat. And today I've got 7 months and 6 days. Now, I may not know you yet, but I'm proud of you all. Sticking with it and doing the right next thing. Fighting for your sobriety. For that, you deserve to be proud as well. Each of us are a living miracle. So never let anyone or anything tell you otherwise. I wrote a prayer that I hope fits with the day. God, grant me, sorry, my aphasia gets in the way. And this is why you don't do drugs. God, grant me and all of us the strength needed to bravely fight in this war against addiction and the faith to remain upward and driven forward, keeping our boots planted firmly on the neck of our common enemy, that foul viper called addiction. May we taste victory now and forevermore, as each of us stays as a beacon of hope for each other and those still lost. And then the last thing I'm going to say is I have what I call a call to battle, because we know how serious this is. Life or death. It's not and death. It's or death, because we're living. We stand as one, an army forged in fire, ever driven forward. We claim our right to live free. We understand surrender, but we refuse to retreat. Each of us has bled enough, so let the parasites starve. We've been damaged in the past, but never broken. So we silence the howling wolves of self-doubt and corruption. Together, we stand proud, beacons of God's love and hope, shining our light into the darkness so no one goes unreached. To all of you, welcome to the tribe and welcome back to life.
All right, that was fun, right? Yeah. I didn't speak today because I asked the people who did speak because they are my second chance story. Mary is one of the most dependable people I know. Every time I've ever been in any kind of problem, I know that I can call her and she's going to figure it out with me, or most likely for me, because I can't function under high pressure. Cece's resilience just blows me away, and how she keeps coming back. And she just shows up all the time, and I've always just really liked her and admired her. Eureka, her self-confidence on this journey that she's making, I just can't, like, the person in front of me is just so different from, all those couple months back. It inspires me every day. Margie's like coming all the time, whatever that's called, being on time and showing up, dependable. Margie's very dependable, and I know that I couldn't handle making the coffee. That would be the one thing that just tipped this whole second chance scale over for me. I would lose my mind. And Egypt, man, he saves me. He makes me laugh. He helps me get the media stuff. And because of all these people on the days that I don't have, who else did I forget? Oh, Sway. There's Sway. And Sway, she's always just so happy, and she just has this orator that she just shows up, just ready to pour God's love out. And you guys don't know how amazing you guys sound when you're up here singing with her. That is my favorite moment, is just to stop singing for a minute and listen to you guys just praise God. But on the days that I'm struggling really hard, the people who came up here, I borrow from them. I find confidence as I see Eureka stand up here and talk about her struggles. I know that I can be dependable because I see Mary be dependable when she's, going through a lot as well. I know I can be reliable because I see it in Margie every day, because sometimes I don't feel like those things at all. And there's been a lot of seasons in my life where people said they borrowed faith from me, and I didn't even know I believed in God at that moment. So when you guys keep showing up and you keep sharing your stories and keep talking to one another, because it works, and you don't know who needs to hear it or who's going to borrow your strength for the day. It's important. I carry all of you guys with me every day. I think about all of you all the time. I pray for you guys. This community has saved my life. I was talking with the Hope Resource Center people the other day, and it's my spiritual condition that has changed. I wasn't supposed to talk. I was supposed to just wrap this up, but here comes God. It's my spiritual condition. It's because of this place right here, and then when I let my walls down, the Hope Gathering too. When I relapsed, the first place that I went to tell everybody was the Hope Gathering, and I just let it out. And, everyone's like, so what? You're not cool. They're like, people relapse, get over yourself, basically. And it's just freeing, and I want this space to be like that for all of us here. I also want to give a moment for anybody who has a burning desire. If there's anything that you're carrying really heavy on your heart, I don't want you to take that with you today. We're here to help carry that. And I know that I don't have time for everybody to come up here and share their hope and stuff, but does anybody need, Yeah, well, does anybody need to get anything off their chest today? Leave it here, not carry it with you. If not, you can see me after. I could pray with you. I've never said that out loud. Woo. And I can pray with you, or somebody can, whatever.